holds it now. We have this person, hypothetical person, who grasps in one flash all that is in the idea in the mind of God. That's the Alaya Vijnana, right? In order to do that, you see, there has to be some transformation of man, because let's work backwards now. Normally, the five senses focus on the phenomenal world. This is our phenomenal world. And to focus on the phenomenal world, we also need this intellectual apparatus that allows us to understand through these categories our experience. We then have a way through that to intellectually engage the world of appearances. This is the world of appearances, or our everyday world. Now, it's through that that we cling and desire, etc. Therefore, and the Buddhists would say, now, you know what you have to do? The whole goal of getting into this higher stages of man's development, there has to be a revolution. There has to be a radical turning around to break through this tie to the phenomenal world, which is nothing other than the particular ideas of the mind of God unfolded in time. And that's called a paravritti in Sanskrit. It's turning the mind around. It's bringing about a revolution, a turning about, breaking the tie with the phenomenal world, freeing manas and the manovijnana, so that therefore this perception is therefore possible into the mind itself with Alaya Vijnana. Now, and that, of course, that produces the world of particulars. Now, let's look what we have now. Right? Now, through your experience, we need another faculty called the citta. Right? That gathers all the consequences of whatever deed, whatever thought, whatever idea, whatever action you engage in. Therefore, it gathers all karma together, and that becomes part of your own inheritance. But that's also working out the implications that what lies here, too. It's all programmed in that sense. Now, what can we say about those? Well, it's very clear. Now let's go back to the major idea of the Lankavatara Sutra. Therefore, the only thing we're ever engaging in continuously is nothing other than mind only. That's all it is. And mind only means nothing other than mind. The world is nothing other than mind. There's nothing but subject objects, and both are nothing other than mind. The triple world, nothing but mind. Existence itself is nothing but mind. All is mind. Mind evolves. Mind evolves. All the forms through which all the forms are manifested, because the mind evolves through all the forms that are manifested, because all of those forms lie potentially within this model. And therefore, it naturally follows, therefore, if we are going to be involved in a developmental model, sooner or later, all beings, therefore, must move from their particular struggles in the phenomenal world to mount these steps of the Bodhisattva ideal. And that's an entry into Buddhahood. Therefore, each of those stages represent levels of enlightenment, which at the same time means their willingness, therefore, to help others see the nature of ultimate reality. And nature of ultimate reality is what they call a yatabhutam. That's seeing things just the way they are, which is nothing other than mind. So we need a revolution in consciousness, and the whole system of the Vijnana. That's the Vijnana just means the five senses, by the way. We must see most clearly our emancipation and our freedom from this involvement. That takes a direct perception of things the way they are. No. It's only one thing you're going to encounter when you see things the way they are, and that's that this is nothing other than mind. Projection of mind, or participation in projection of mind, and therefore it's mind as an idea going into a Platonic world for a moment so we can play with it. It's a participating in mind as you understand mind to be the ultimate reality, and that's all there is. Now, to go into a more interesting, now we're going to push the implications of this now. What is mind, and how do they talk about it? Now, in the sheets I passed around, I passed these sheets around from Suzuki's translation of Lankavatara Sutra, and I would like to direct you to page 186. Yeah. 186? Yeah. Okay. Yes. This is the most interesting part of Lankavatara Sutra. The abodes and stages of Buddhahood are established in the mind only, which is imageless. Now, I'm going to read quickly through a couple of the items in order to go on to what I think is more central. Now, previously to this section, there's a description of the 11 stages. And this is where he redefines them, the author. The first 7 stages are still in the mind, but the 8th is imageless. The 2 stages, the 9th and the 10th, have still something to rest themselves on. The highest stage that is left belongs to me. All right, now here's where we're going to explore it now. Self-realization and absolute purity. This stage is my own. It's the highest station of Mahaveshra, the Akanishta heaven, shining brightly. Now look at the way in which they're describing it. Its rays of light move forward like a mass of fire. They who are bright-colored, charming, auspicious, transform the triple world. Of course, some worlds are being transformed, others are already been transformed. There I preach the various vehicles which belong to my own stage. So I'd like to stay with 3 and 4. Right. Mahamati, in ultimate reality there is neither gradation nor continuous succession. Only the truth of absolute solitude is taught here, in which the discrimination of all the images is quieted. So it is said that the abodes and stages of Buddhahood are established in mind only. All right? And now we're going to get to that stage that is left to me. This is, of course, said to be the Bodhidharma, because this was given